Peace on Earth. Ethan Indigo Smith here, the philosopher stoned. Here we discuss the whole spectrum of the esoteric and the exoteric, of all things metaphysical and political. We leave no stone unturned. So, let's talk about what is the philosopher's stone. Traditionally speaking, not me being silly when I say I'm the philosopher, comma, stoned. What's the philosopher's stone? Well, the philosopher's stone has to do most specifically with alchemy. And certainly there is the historical aspect of alchemy that had to do with chemical and mineral elements. Another idea in alchemy and in thus finding the philosopher's stone is the idea that one has to develop internally, esoterically, in order to really utilize the information that is the power that is the philosopher's stone. So even in the historical aspect of alchemy and its very fundamental physical, chemical, experimental things, sometimes having to do with the pursuit of transformation of lead into gold. But there were other things, other discoveries on the way, and these very materialistic pursuits, very chemical and mineral chemistry pursuits. Even within that, it's commonly understood that one has to develop internally, and that the internal or esoteric lesson of the philosopher's stone is the most important. And so that has led to this idea of alchemy being individuation. And that's exactly what it says, right? So the four elements of another concept of the philosopher's stone is the unification of four elements, being one of the integral parts of transformation, of transcendence. And if you look at it in the exoteric concept, the external concept, then you're looking at the four elements that we commonly reference: air, earth, fire, water. And but the four elements esoterically are different, right? So those four elements can symbolize many different things, and many different things correspond with the energies of these four elements. So just considering the philosopher's stone in solely physical chemical constructs leads us to a limited idea concerning these elemental uh, aspects, but not the symbological aspects behind these elemental things. So, how do we start to use that idea of four elements as an internal and esoteric lesson or tool? Well, I write about this extensively in the Matrix of Four, and the Matrix of Four kind of an external philosophical viewpoint, and I also write about this in the Fourth Initiation, and it's kind of an internal viewpoint. But I'm not done, don't worry. There's a simple symbological construct that reveals what I call this matrix of four, or this four grammar, that really is from out the internal and esoteric lesson of the four elements. So, one layer of their symbology is going to be physical, mental, spiritual, and wait, that corresponds with a trinity: mind, body, spirit. And this is often reflected upon as a complete set, but it's not. It's lacking the fourth aspect. And the fourth aspect is the universal, or the nature, or the surroundings, right? Mind, body, spirit, or mental, physical, spiritual, is the trinity that is lacking the fourth part of universal slash natural. So let's break down those four fundamental aspects, because each of those you can I've found the best way to illustrate the potential of each of those fundamental four aspects of creation, four elements of alchemy, is by way of four absolutes. Asterisks. Three absolutes, one set of four that is unknowable. The first, let's start with the mental. The most absolute concept of mentalism or thinking is mathematics. And all of mathematics is based on, that's right, the four operations of arithmetic: multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, in a duality of polarity. So the absolute of mentalism, or the mental aspect of this four elements of creation, is arithmetic. And the absolute of physical is the breath. In fact, all life breathes in four, in a cycle of four: inhalation, pause full; exhalation, pause empty. There's the four. Very much like the yin and yang. And let's go to the universal, or the natural. This is the four seasons, which also is depicted in the yin yang. No matter where you are on whatever celestial body, the measurements may be different, but there's always going to be a four-season flow. That's just the way it is. Of bodies in orbit of other celestial bodies, there's always going to be a four-season flow. And the spiritual absolute, which is the most intangible, of course, is reflective in the oldest symbol on the planet, Om. And Om has, among other things, it has four main parts with three aspects, kind of like these spaces. There's four fingers there with three spaces in between. The four aspects of this Om symbol has the seven in it, in that sense. But in the simplest terms, the Om symbol is reflective of wake state, sleep state, deep awakening, and deep dreaming states of consciousness. So there's this alchemical lesson of the four elements, right? And I find it's a useful tool to begin to process the potential that these and similar sets of four bring about. So, hope that was helpful and interesting. Peace on earth.